Well, happy Monday. It's been a while. It's always good to be with you again. Hope everybody had a good vacation last week. Want to welcome all of you here. What we're going to be going over tonight, we'll be going over some customer reviews. We'll be answering some questions. If you have questions, please type them in. Brooklyn is here and she can help forward some of those questions to me. We're also going to demonstrate how to begin on the Cellerciser. There's a whole bunch of half-fold Cellercisers that have been pre-ordered, and the good news is that we should be shipping those out in the next few days. So at the latest, beginning of the week, Monday. But you should be getting those now. We still have some trifolds left. We're fast selling out of those, and unfortunately we're going to be back ordered on those before we are able to get more inventory. So if you have friends, family, people you care about, and you want to introduce the Cellerciser to them, please do so. Those who have pre-ordered the half-fold Cellercisers, you have it at the current price. We'll maintain the current price this week, and then next week we're going to have to raise the price. So if you know anybody who's interested, please encourage them to get their Cellerciser as soon as possible. Want to extend our condolences to one of our Cellercise family members' family, Lucy Davis, and she was on the Cellerciser a little over a year. I had a chance to meet her and talk to her. She was really working hard in helping to restore her health, and suddenly passed away. So we remember her. We are part of a family. We are connected, and we do care, and we again extend our best wishes to the family and their support. Also wanted to wish a happy birthday. We had a happy birthday today to Angela Pyle Hoffman. Happy birthday. She's part of our Cellercise family, and we wish her the best too. Okay. This is from Karen. Karen says, "Good evening, Dave. I just finished watching your Facebook Live broadcast of August 31st. Thank you for sharing your story. I've been part of your Cellercise family for over a decade. My father was an advocate of your rebound technique unit, and he was my encouragement to purchase my own unit. I'm grateful for your commitment to health and getting credible information out to others concerning how we can take personal responsibility for our own health. Your sincerity has touched my heart. I'm grateful to your weekly encouraging videos. My Cellercise journey has not always been consistent, but I have recommitted myself these past few months, and tonight's video is a turning point to solidifying that commitment. Thank you." When we begin any exercise program, especially Cellercise, the advantage of Cellercise is it's fun. Just get on it. Every day that you are on it, you are a step closer towards success. The movement up and down helps to break up sticky blood cells, stimulates the thyroid, the adrenals, the endocrine system, stimulates balance and equilibrium, opens up the circulatory systems, the lymphatic system. There's so much and so many benefits in it. But as much as that is good, which it is, there's also the mental exercise portion of it. And so when we get on the Cellerciser, we want to mentally tell ourselves and communicate with our body and ourselves. Our body responds to what we say, think, and feel. So we say, hey, every day and every way I'm feeling better and better. I did it. I'm on this Cellerciser. I'm a step closer to my goals and my objective. If you really get discouraged, give me a call. I can work you through various different ways of motivating yourself to get on that Cellerciser toward achieving those goals and objectives. But hold the vision in your head. In your mind. Really important, especially when you're on the Cellerciser. Reaffirm it, see it clearly. It sends a message. And we've talked about this, not that the conditions around you ever change, but the conditions within you begin to change. And so you respond differently to the conditions around you. All right, so hang in there. We're having great success. We have some people that are getting a little discouraged, and those are the ones we're here to help. So if you're discouraged in any way, feel free to give me a call. Again, I've been doing this for over 30 years, and it works. And hopefully some of these customer reviews are going to motivate and excite you and help you know that it is within your reach to achieve your greater health potential. We bought a bifold rebounder with balance bar about 4 months ago. It was something my wife had seen online and she wanted one. She encouraged me to try it out and I did. I started with just a couple minutes a session in the morning and evening after work. Well, to make a long story short, I got hooked and I began a 10-minute routine before my normal morning workout and another 10-minute session after I got home from work. We both watched your videos and I picked up a few of your exercises and the rest is history. I've exercised all my life and this is the easiest workout I have ever tried. In 4 short months, I have lost 10 pounds, got myself in great shape, got myself better toned than ever before. I really didn't pay any attention and before I knew it, I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. I've become a believer in your products and just wanted to say thank you. P.S. I'm a 69-year-old and I spent 30 years in the U.S. Army. I think we've read this before and I appreciate it. It's well worth reading again. All right. This is from Nancy. I don't have before pics, but I have a now pic. I can't say enough good things about my Cellerciser. It's amazing. I've never really liked exercising until now. So I thank you. And that's what Cellercise is about. You don't have to work out when you can play in. Have fun on it. It works on you automatically. You can go ahead and be as intense as you want. You can watch a television show. My kids are watching shows every night while they're on the Cellerciser. So it's working on you while you are playing on it. And if you want to go more intense, you can. We've got the MrRebounder.com app that's available for those who want a routine that you can follow or create your own. Trust me when I say, I was never really what I thought overweight. But according to medical weight advice, I was 5'2" and I was 138 pounds. Now I'm 122. All since April of this year, using only the Cellerciser. And I've changed my diet, a bit, but nothing drastic. I've never eaten poorly anyway. But now, with changes being made, I eat more fruit and vegetables for sure. And I always drink 1/2 my weight or more in ounces of water each day. I just wanted to share with you a bit of what I'm doing and my progress. As you say, we're family now. I'm more than pleased with my purchase of my Cellerciser! And wanted to say again, thank you so much. Angie, thank you. And I don't know, I have no idea how old Angie is. She doesn't look very old, but she looks pretty good. She's in good shape. So Angie, well done. Well done. All right. COVID-19 breakout, needed some exercise, and a friend was looking at sites and videos and shared with me. So then I did my own research, got a $2,200 rebounder that I still have, and did your Cellerciser workout that I use still every day since last week of April. However, I've had my Cellerciser for a month or so now and love it. When I started using your workout, it was baby steps. I felt woozy when I first got on your rebounder. I can finally, after 3.5 months, do the full workout, except I can't let my arms do the jumping jack thing. I still use the bar. I just needed it for balance. I was slowly getting into a funk I never thought would happen to me. And now I can play with my grandbaby and not feel like an unfit granny. Thank you. And thank you, Sherry. All right. Lonita writes, I purchased mine 10 years ago, but I knew about the Cellerciser longer than that. I had to convince myself to buy his after I went through many cheap ones. It was well worth it. Thank you, Lonita. Linda writes, I retired the end of February and needed some form of exercise since I couldn't walk the stairs of my office building anymore. I talked to a new friend. She told me her grandmother is a chiropractor and has recommended rebounding since the 70s, so I bought a trampoline without much research. I used it for about 2 weeks when I found one of your videos. I was hooked and gave that trampoline away and bought the Cellerciser. Love it. And Raj writes, a lady at my interdenominational church, she's in her 80s, looks like she's in her 50s, and she said she rebounded. I saw a group that was doing rebounding, and it was the Cellerciser equipment. Then I followed Dave's videos for probably about a year, and then we finally got one and have loved it ever since. I called Cellerciser and Jerry talked with me, and it just seemed like we knew each other forever. And I had only met him and talked to him a few minutes. I know you know this already, but Jerry is a keeper, and so are many other like many other Christians. That's amazing about the lady at your church. So happy for her. Okay, and then comments from the rest of you. When I was researching, these are basically wonderful, wonderful comments being shared to Raj. I joined in the spring during COVID. Another one, I purchased a bee bounder from the shopping channel, but I didn't like the bounce. I sold it and bought 2 used Cellercisers on Facebook. Good for you. I will be taking one to my condo in Mexico to leave there as I spend 6 months in London, Ontario, and 6 months in Huatulco, Mexico. I am looking forward to bouncing on my balcony overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Okay, rub it in. Don't worry, I'll post lots of pics. Thank you. I love the exhilaration of Cellercising. According to Fitbit, my cardio is now in the excellent range for women of my age. And Jane writes, I bought my Cellerciser after having met you, Dave, at a meeting in Denmark. Patricia writes, well, I wanted to buy one, but had a couple questions before placing the order. I called customer service and left a message. Nobody returned my call. After a while, I got tired of waiting. After people who do not care and ordered one from the other guys. I love it. Okay, Patricia. Sorry we missed you. Angie writes, a couple years ago I was Googling, of course, and I came across rebounding. Okay. And then all of a sudden, Dave Hall's Cellerciser pops up. I regret to say, I took 2 years before I purchased my Cellerciser. I did, however, purchase a cheaper model. Until this past April, I finally purchased from Dave Hall, in zero comparison. My Cellerciser is amazing. I have seen lots of changes in my body, and also have taken off arthritis meds for my hands. No more pain. Strange also, I have fewer wrinkles. So cells in my body are repairing my skin as well. As the skin is the largest organ of the body, it's amazing. Great job, Dave, and all of you at Cellerciser. I want to comment that the Cellerciser truly is different than typical rebounders. We adopt everybody. We want to encourage everybody to be a part of the program. The uniqueness of the Cellerciser, if you ever have a chance to try one, is that it has resistance, which we have to have. If it's too soft and we think it doesn't have enough resistance, we don't open the valves or move the lymph fluid or create the weight-bearing activity that helps to build up the body. And you can have fun on the Cellerciser, and as you're having fun, your skin, collagen, protein fibers, muscles, bones, connective tissues, ligaments, tendons, they're all having to compensate for the increase of weight that's on them without jar. It's not jarring, but you are getting the pumping action. And that pumping action is what helps to encourage that circulation through the whole body. So, what I'd like to do now is answer some questions, and then I'm going to do a little demonstration for those who are going to be getting their new Cellercisers and how to approach it. And then we'll do an advanced technique for those who are more athletically inclined or who are involved in really wanting to target the stomach area. We'll talk about that. Okay. First of all, how long before you see results? That can vary. You should feel results really almost immediately if you're sensitive and you're in tune with the body. For me, and I was playing on it for the first month, in about a month I dropped a belt notch. And my wife asked me, she says, are you lifting weights? Because my arms were bigger. Some people notice results very, very quickly. Other people notice results gradually. And some people, like the one lady who was, she said her shoulders were drooped and she was kind of hunched over, and she began Cellercising. Well, these are the muscles that help hold up our posture. She gets on the Cellerciser and she's using it for several weeks, and she's got one of those closets that have the mirrors on the closet. She opened up the mirror one day, and as she looked at herself in the mirror, instead of like this, she was standing like this, and it shocked her. It literally shocked and amazed her. She yelled for her husband, who was there, to come and look. She said, look at me, look at my posture. And that's an exciting story. So everybody can be different. It can be how you wake up in the morning, how you feel, your energy levels, how you're walking up and down steps, or climbing up and down stairs, or going hiking. And it can be flexibility, it can be digestion, elimination processes. It can, obviously balance and equilibrium. It's constantly working on. So these results are all part of the benefits that have been attributed to Cellercising. So we want to encourage each one of you to be aware of it and be able to continue to share some of these stories. So again, how fast can you see results? It depends on your particular situation, but you should feel and begin seeing results very, very quickly. Because remember, you're not just targeting one muscle of the body. You're targeting every single muscle, every single cell of the body with a weight-bearing exercise over 100 times a minute. Show me any other exercise that really can do that without an impact, jar, or damaging effect. Cellerciser creates G forces, but eliminates up to 7/8 of the ballistic impact or jar. It says, any easy jump moves for migraine and neck soreness, or should I wait? Okay, there are movements specific for the neck and for circulation. And doing that on the Cellerciser, and we've shared some of these before. The gentle movement up and down, if all you're doing is this, if you were to take your fingers and put them up here and hold on to the trapezius muscles. Can you see that all right, Brooklyn? Okay, and hold on to these muscles. You're going to feel a constant expanding and contracting, or a massage effect, which it really is. So it's massaging those muscles as you're just gently moving up and down, very relaxing. Again, we often do it with babies when they're fussy. So as we've started doing this, we can get to the point where then we can just kind of rock and move our shoulders up and down. And as we're moving our shoulders up and down, we're also working this whole neck area. And then we can do some of the additional movements that I've shared on previous videos with the fingertips, helping to gently massage those muscles. As we're moving up and down, the cells are still moving up and down, and the fluid is moving up and down. I like to think of the Cellerciser as an internal scrub machine. So as we're moving up and down, all the fluid is moving up and down. It's back-flushing valves and opening up capillaries and helping to get rid of trapped blood proteins, increasing circulation. And we've had some pretty interesting results with people that have had migraine headaches, and they've written their results. And again, I can't say we have scientific proof of the benefits of Cellercise, but I can say try it and see how it works for you and experience, and we'll continue to share some of the stories. But I have my suspicion as to why it works. Okay, can you address heel pain when getting out of the bed in the morning? Well, when you lay down at night, you're not moving much, and the circulation isn't moving as much. The lymphatic system is sluggish, and fluid starts to find its own natural equilibrium. But since we're not moving, if we have poor circulation in certain areas or injuries, those areas can tighten up. So I don't know your particular situation. I can't claim to know what it is. You might want to consult with a doctor. But I do know when we get on the Cellerciser and we start to move up and down, we're massaging. I call it the wake-up call. We're massaging all the tissue in the body every day. We wake up in the morning, we do our gentle warm-up. Let's get the homeostasis, the energy, the communication channels working through the whole body. Because literally 3 to 5 minutes, and we've demonstrated this, we've seen this many times under microscopes, where the movement up and down helps to break up sticky blood cells, helps to oxygenate it. The blood cells look like they're in a totally different state. Oxygenated, imbibed with fluid, they're separated from each other. The movement up and down then can help move those individual blood cells more freely to the brain, capillaries, different parts of the body. Wake up call in the morning. And if you can't do anything more than 2 to 3 minutes, do it 2 to 3 minutes and see how much better you're going to feel and how much better you're going to perform for the day. Again, it's the warm-up. So, is a calorie burn based on the health bounce or more aggressive bounce? The calorie burn is based upon the intensity. So it's not the amount of time, it's really the intensity. When my son gets on the Cellerciser, he uses our little, we've got our, can you move the camera down, Brooklyn, so they can see this? We have our new little device here, which we're going to make available very soon, where as we run up and down, I don't know if you can see this, but let's see, I don't want to break it. Okay, so you can see that little, can they see that? As you increase the intensity, that's pretty intense. There's your there it is. Now as you're moving up and down, it'll slow down a moment. As you're moving up and down, you still have an effect. It's not quite as intense when you're running in place. The intensity goes up. That will measure the calorie burn as well as show the amount of intensity. So you want to burn a certain number of calories. We've programmed that to give a readout of the calorie burn. All right, and we'll have those available very soon. In fact, if you want to call and get more information or pre-order those, feel free to call our office, because we have the prototypes done now. We've ordered the molds, so we make those available to you. But those will count the number of bounces you do, the amount of time that you're on it, the number of calories that you're burning, and it will gauge the intensity so that you can work as hard or play as hard as you want on it. Okay, he says, he knows my calves get sore and my tight calves affect the fasciitis. Any suggestions on how to Cellercise better to get the benefits without foot issues? Okay, yeah, when you begin on a Cellerciser, we encourage people to do it barefoot, unless your doctor says different, to do it barefoot or with soft-soled slippers or socks. I do it in socks. For the purpose of taking the muscles and ligaments and helping them to move and become more flexible again to support your natural alignment. When we first start off on a Cellerciser, the weakest area of circulation in the body is generally in the lower extremities. And so we develop edema, swelling, trapped blood proteins, varicose veins. The movement up and down on a Cellerciser, as we lift the heels up and down, we start to work the calf muscle. So generally, when people begin on the Cellerciser, and there's going to be a lot of beginners in the next week, when they begin on the Cellerciser, they can feel it in the calf muscle. And it may take a week to 2 weeks before that really starts to just fade away. Circulation improves, strength of the calf muscle improves, and then things start to feel better. So it just takes a little time. But as muscles, bones, ligaments, tendons, as they all start to move, we may notice little kinks come and go over time. I did myself a number of times. But as we work through them, then generally everybody's foot begins to feel better, they perform better, and we've got several good customer reviews with people that have had plantar fasciitis and what the Cellerciser has done for them when nothing else was working for them. So you might want to read some of those customer reviews. We should have our new website up in the next few weeks, and we've got hundreds of wonderful customer reviews that you're going to be able to have access to, and it'll be a lot easier to find them and read about them. Okay. Is Jamba Walk the best way to lose weight? How long and how often do you need to go for it? Okay. The Jamba Walk is a great, as we know, our son Justice has been doing the Jamba Run every night, and his metabolism soared, and we're trying to help him. I know what that's like. I've done that myself. The Jamba Walk uses the biggest muscles of the body. Those big muscles, think of them like engines. We feed them fuel, they burn fuel, and they take a lot of fuel. So doing the Jamba Walk is going to burn or use these muscles. Doing repetitions of it, every time we do it, we're working these muscles and our metabolism is going higher. When we increase the intensity and we start to do it very, very quickly, well then obviously that's going to be much more intense. And we do repetitions of it, and we're going to feel that. And the body's going to have to adapt. And it does. Okay. I have issues with neuropathy and an umbilical hernia. I also have had my lymph nodes removed in my lower abdomen. I injured both wrists by doing repetitive actions to a debilitating level. I'm 69 years old, about 30 pounds overweight. I bought the Cellerciser in order to help me lose weight, work the abs, so my inoperable hernia can stabilize and improve my injured wrists. I've already noticed the foot and hand neuropathy symptoms have improved. The facelift is a bonus that I really appreciate. My question is, are there any exercises that I can do to help target my hernia area and help heal my wrists? 2 questions really, thanks. Okay, well, there are support girdles that you can wear to help support while we strengthen the supporting muscles from the inside out on the Cellerciser. You can probably ask your doctor for something that would work like that. The Cellerciser, the moment we tilt backwards slightly, those muscles are going to tighten up. So as we're tilted slightly and jogging, we're working the whole abdominal region. The wrists, as you're building them up, that's a good lead into some of the advanced movements. Let's go ahead and do Brooklyn. We're going to do the sit and bounce, and for the stomach. And if you can show them right here on our we have on our Mr. Rebounder app, and many of you are familiar with it, and if you're not, feel free to go to MrRebounder.com, MrRebounder.com, and you can pick from over 30 pre-made routines, or you can create your own. But in adding this movement, that's a sit and bounce, I wanted to share this with you because we have a movement here that you can schedule the amount of time it takes, but it will show you, okay, you're going to get ready to do the sit and bounce. So you can add that into your program after a different movement and just do it for a second. And then we've got the sit and bounce movement. So this is one of the sit and bounce movements I'll demonstrate in a moment. You can help support your back while you tilt backwards slightly so that it really works this area. And if you have a weak back, I suggest that you help support it. Now, if you have wrist issues, that's a little tougher. So you can actually hold on to the balance bar and do it, and help support your back by holding on to the rubber handles here on the side of the balance bar. But that's for added support. Then number 2. We lift up, she's lifting up her left leg, and we have a male and a female avatar too, so you can see how it works here. But she's bouncing up and down and tilting backwards using her arms now, so it focuses more effort in the abdominal region, and she's lifting the leg. Now when that leg gets tired, and you do it for a certain number of seconds in your routine, and then you can switch legs and then do the other leg for a certain number of seconds as well. And again, this will ding. You set it up in the program, it will ding as you do your next movement. So you can be watching a television show or enjoying yourself and ding, oh, next movement. And then it just makes it very easy. And I want to thank the Cellercise family for making that suggestion. It's because of that, because of you, we put that into the program. Okay, then we go, that's a little more advanced. And you don't have to work hard to get here. Just play on it. Do the first steps. You'll be surprised at how fast you grow and how fast you can get to the next level. And it's amazing for people of all ages. So that's the next level. And then we've got it gets it gets more intense. Okay. Well, oh yeah, there we go. That's the bounce, crunch, in and out. That's more intense. I don't know of any sit-up, quite frankly, that can come close to what that movement can do for really working this area. Now, if you want to work the sides, the obliques a little bit more too, well then you can add this movement into the routine too. And that's working it. So I'm going to demonstrate those right now. And again, these are some advanced movements. So it's not something you want to begin if you're beginning. These are for those who have either been doing it for a while and are ready to take it to the next level. But you can support your hands right here, start bouncing up and down. And you're working the stomach muscles just by doing this. Now, as you get stronger, and it takes time, so give yourself time. You don't want to strain your back. You want to build up your back. And this can help support your back while it's getting stronger. When it gets stronger, then you can take your hands away and bounce up and down just like this. Really, the only reason I'm moving, it's all being done right here with the stomach muscles. As you continue to get stronger, then you can lift up one leg and it leverages the weight right there in the lower abdomen where everybody wants to work. When the leg gets tired, that's when we lift up the other leg. And eventually you become strong enough, you can bounce up and down on both. This is all being done right here with the stomach muscles. As you continue to get stronger, then you can go cheek to cheek. And now you're working the obliques, both sides of the stomach wall, and then in and out, or up and down. And those are some pretty intense movements. But give yourself time. When you're done, I always recommend loosening up that lower back or doing the shoulders up and down, or it's dropping the hips into the mat to help loosen the back. Okay, so that's the advanced one for today. Next time we'll show some more leveraged movements that are also more advanced. But let's talk about those who are beginning to Cellercise. And whenever I talk to somebody on the phone, I try to encourage them, don't do any high jumping when you get on a Cellerciser. Number one, high jumping is for big trampolines. It defeats the purpose of the Cellerciser. When you're jumping high, you're floating. You're not working, you're just floating. The Cellerciser, most of the benefit is kept closer to the mat. That's where the cells are expanding and contracting. That's where the valves are opening and shutting. That's where we're getting the concentrated effort of 100 bounces per minute or more through that movement up and down. So it's kept close. Now, I suggest we drink a lot of water, because as we move up and down, everything in the body starts to move up and down. And it's an internal flush. We had a lady who, she may be on here, she got this Cellerciser. It was her first night, and she was excited about it, so she got on it, and her family was in the living room watching a movie. She got on the Cellerciser and watched the movie too, but she didn't want to get off of it. She was on the Cellerciser for an hour and 20 minutes. First time. She woke up the next day with 104 degree plus temperature. They rushed her down to the hospital. They did all these tests trying to figure out what was wrong with her. Couldn't find a thing. Gave her some antibiotics. She went home. She didn't take the antibiotics. She just went to bed. She woke up the next morning and felt like $1,000,000. She calls me up on the phone to say, David, I don't remember having I feel great. I said, yeah, you did a concentrated detox. It's easier to do it over a period of time, but it is important to drink the water. I had another gentleman in the 70s. He was involved with some drugs and a lifestyle that wasn't, healthy. And he later changed his whole life. But when he started to Cellercise, I said, make sure you drink a lot of water. Because you break up these heavy metals, toxins, poisons, preservatives, formaldehydes, pesticides, herbicides, drugs, things we've been exposed to over the years, and they're coming back into the system. We want to drink a lot of water to help flush them out of the system so they don't just deposit somewhere else. Okay, so he gets the Cellerciser. I call him a few weeks later and I say, how you doing? He said, oh, my family loves it. Great, how you doing? I can't do it. I'm so sick. I'm having a hard time getting out of bed. It's wiped me out. And I said, what are you doing on it? And he told me what he was doing on it. And I said, that's right, that's right. And you're drinking lots of water, right? Oh, I don't drink much water. Oh, so you're releasing all of this back into your system, taking it out of the ligaments and the tendons and the fat cells that may have accumulated, and you're just re-experiencing a lot of these things. I said, would you try it again and drink a lot of water? Okay, I'll try that. So he did, thank goodness, because it'd be terrible if he thought that was the end. He drinks the water, he does the Cellercising. I talked to him a couple weeks later, and he was raving. He said it is absolutely mandatory that everyone in his family, before they get up in the morning to go to school or work, they have to get on that Cellerciser before they leave the house. It made that big a difference in his family. And so he's a big fan and a big proponent, and I really appreciate him. But my point being, drink the water. Drink the water when you move up and down on that Cellerciser. There are specific movements that you can do in every one of the pre-ordered half-fold Cellercisers. You will be getting the $40 DVD that has the lecture, explains what it is, why it works, shows you how to use it, shows you what you can do in a 10-minute day routine, but it also has the personal trainer drop-down menu where it goes through over 20 different exercise movements that are specific to what you might want to address or work on. And again, if you have a health condition or medical condition, consult with your doctor or health practitioner, or feel free to have them give me a call. Cellercise makes it easier on the heart because as you're moving up and down, you're pumping with the heart. So a lot of people who have had a harder time being able to find an exercise that they can do have found Cellercise to be a very gentle and easy way of being able to get that exercise and those benefits without a jarring impact or strenuous activity. So beginning, just a simple baby bounce right here. I suggest hold on to the balance bar. By the way, just as a reminder, the balance bar is a balance bar when you begin. It's not a balance bar after you've gotten pretty good on the Cellerciser. It then becomes a performance bar. So it allows you to alter the angle of your body in deeper positions so you get more intense results. And doing the Jamba run, it's a lot easier holding on to a balance bar than doing it without the balance bar. So, but start off, we're just gently moving up and down. We're going to be moving fluid up and down past the stirrup. The movement up and down can help increase oxygen, blood flow to the brain, be sensitive, you don't get dizzy. But this gentle movement is just like baby standing in a crib. Gentle movement up and down. Just warm up the body. And for some of you, that's all you need to do. And you can do it several times a day. Some people say, well, can I do it more than once a day? You can do it 5 times. You can do as many times as you want. 5 times is better than 3. 3 is better than 2. And 1's better than none at all. So you can do lots of different programs with it. So, or approaches. But nighttime when it's ready to go to bed, this gentle moving up and down is a great way to get rid of stress and tension. So those who are dealing with stress, if you've had a particularly stressful day, Mondays are always stressful for our office, just gently enjoy the movement up and down. Relax shoulders, back, and buttocks, and just feel what's going on inside the body. Rocking side to side, great movement. As we're rocking side to side, you're working the hips. Let's lubricate those hips, those joints, and let's start to strengthen the supporting muscles and ligaments around the hips. Great technique. If we want to loosen them even more, we can do the gentle twist, which is taking again all the smooth muscles, digestion, elimination processes, liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals, all of those internal organs, as well as loosening up the lower back. This is the second most important movement I think we can do, the first being just the health or baby bounce. Great exercise. And then if you want to do the Jamba Walk, you can do the Jamba Walk. And that one you'll feel in the thighs and the knees. And as you get stronger, you can sit down a little further if you want, or you can go a little faster. That's totally up to you. But starting off, just the gentle movements. Remember, Cellercise is more intense than people often believe. They think, how can you get these benefits just bouncing up and down? Well, for those of us who've been doing it a long time, we know. But Cellercise is working from the inside out, not just the vanity muscles, not working from the outside in. It's working from the inside out. So internal organs, connective tissues, the fascia, very important. All those protein fibers have weight on them over and over, so they become more resistant. So the body is taking time, but the body is starting to lift, tighten, and tone from the inside out. And again, it's fun. So, show me another program that's fun, is easy, as efficient, it's convenient, economical, it's safe, it's portable. You know, we have the half fold, we have the trifold, but it becomes a way of life. It's something that those of us who've been doing it, and some of us have been doing it for a long time. Some of us who started with me when they were in their 70s are now in their 90s, and they're enjoying a great quality of life still, and they've called to let me know, and I appreciate that, and feel free to share your stories with us. We love sharing them with other people. And for all of you, it begins and ends with us. So if you know people that you think would benefit, that might have hip problems, knee problems, back problems, shoulder problems, digestion, elimination problems, circulation problems, weight loss problems, balance issues, whatever. I mean, if the cells are stronger, healthier, and working more efficiently, if we don't have the blockages, stress, and tension, if the circulation in the body is good and we're getting rid of the sticky blood cells and helping to create a better blood chemistry within the body, what's the outcome going to be? That's something we can share. And for those of you who are in doubt, talk to people that do it, try it. You know, give it a try. I know there's so many different pieces of exercise equipment out there. There's a lot of hype out there. There always will be. If you look at the current fitness industry, the way that we have been exposed to it, they treat the body as muscle groups and body parts, because there's a lot of different types of pieces of exercise equipment that can be created around all these muscle groups and body parts. And many of you have heard me say it many times before. We have the wedges, abdominal boards, rowers, ketoners, porta bike, fitness climbers, stairmasters, health riders, Nordic track, Schwinn, airdynes, a life cycle, life force, stomach crunch, thigh master, ab blaster, solar flex, treadmill, cyclone, body gym, torso, Bowflex, gazelles, pelotons, the list goes on and on. But most of those, if not all of them, are limiting the effect on certain muscle groups. Nothing wrong with it. It's okay. Cellercise is different. It doesn't treat the body as muscle groups or body parts. Because the G-forces are on the entire body over 100 times a minute, it treats the entire body collectively as a whole, not as parts. Even though we can leverage our body by altering the angle of our body in different positions, the entire body collectively is always involved. So there's a lot we can be doing on a Cellerciser. I look forward to introducing more of those programs with you. And we are working on our Mr. Rebounder app right now to create new modules, new exercise movements that will be on our Mr. Rebounder app. And looking forward to introducing some more exciting support materials in the near future as well. So thank you all for your patience, for your support, for your love, and for your your ideas, and for helping share the story with those you care about too. So we'll talk to you next week. Brooklyn, was there any questions? Nope, we're good? All right? Okay, we'll see you next week.